welcome to Game 3 of the Bugeater GT. I had a little bit of feedback on my last one, and a good point on from Dan. Dan wanted to make sure, or wanted to know how many order dice, because it's kind of tough in a contest when he was making his list at tournaments, how many order dice there were. So my next match is going to be against Riley O'Connor, and there is a picture of him bent down there, and that is his girlfriend dressed up like Rosie the Riveter. I thought that was very, very cool. He had the army helmet on in the video in the opening. So I'm going to go over Riley's list real quick. He's got a second lieutenant, a 10-man infantry squad, regular with a bar, and an NCO with a submachine gun, and a 10-man infantry squad, regular, 2 bars, and an NCO. Well, that's it. 10 and another squad, 10-man, 2 bars, an 8-man paratrooper squad. They're obviously veteran, an NCO with a submachine gun, and 2 submachine guns in the squad. A sniper team, regular, an 81mm mortar team, regular, an M2A1 medium artillery piece, regular with a gun shield, and an M4A3 Sherman 105mm gun, which that's interesting. Veteran, pintle mount heavy machine gun, and he's got a truck. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 order dice. So usually these tournaments you see this is the only tournament that I've seen a bigger one with a dual platoon system. So usually people run around 12 order dice, other than the Soviets who can crank out more. Alright, so let's get to this scenario. The scenario is meeting, it's like you have to get into the deployment zone of the other person. If you have more than them, you can get a minor win. If you have more than them and their number is 0, you keep them all out, then you can get a major. Any of the result is a draw. So Riley's got his forces deployed pretty strongly across the side there. Any reserves come in, they come in from your long table edge. He won the roll and picked the corner. So I'm just going to deploy my howitzers here. I'm not going to try to be fancy and roll them in to get some better angles of fire. So I deploy my howitzers in a kind of a line. He does have his paratroopers off the board in a truck. So I'm assuming they're going to come in maybe behind this hill, up through that way to get to my deployment zone. I got a howitzer back there. An inexperienced squad that is kind of in this little tree row, if he does come through that way. Or at least behind it, and then I put another inexperienced squad out there in the open. Because you can see Riley here, he's got his tank, he's got his howitzer, both squared off right down the street. Him having to deploy first and actually having stuff on and not all coming in from reserve give me a little bit of advantage, as I can like line up, basically I line up 3 of my howitzers versus his tank and his howitzer. One of them doesn't have a very good, it's almost 2 on 2, but and then he's got like 2 or 3 regular infantry squads. Yeah, 3. Yeah, ready to basically run into this beautiful, beautiful model church. He does have a sniper, and he's trying to figure out where he's going to put it. And he's Riley was a very, very cool player. He just says, you know, this is just too cool to not put a sniper in here. And then he puts his mortar observer or howitzer observer basically in the little second floor down in the windows. They're both up there in the tower basically, and he's just like, that this is too cool not to put a sniper in here. So, and I agree, and we're gonna start pulling some dice. So my plan here is basically hold. It's very simple. He gets the first, Riley gets the first dice, and he comes up with his tank, and he opens up with his machine gun battery. He's got like 2 medium machine guns and I think a heavy machine gun on that thing. So start spraying some fire, and I'm sure I took a pin, and I fired my first howitzer right off the bat. I see I put the dice on there, and I missed, needing a 6. I fire the next one, I missed. So I'm going to get my blue dice back out because I've had 2 shots with 2 misses, so we're going to go back out with my blue dice. I mean, I don't expect turn 1 hits. I mean, those are a bonus if you get them. What I try to do is out order dice another person, and then when I'm playing a list like this, and then get those fives. So my blue dice come out because I made him jealous, and I'm able to score a hit and knock out his Sherman with my third gun. So now I've got a medium mortar, and I roll another 6 with my blue dice and knock out his howitzer, I believe, with my mortar. Or no, not yet, not yet. But anyway, yeah, I did. Knocked it out with the mortar. So that was 2 6s on turn 1, one from a howitzer, one from a mortar, and so my competing dice are doing the job. I wasn't expecting 6s. What I expect is starting to score some 5s, and then maybe make my opponent move if it's looking like I'm going to need 4s. We were discussing running over a wall here. Riley's local club often play that you can run over a wall, and I was just saying, I said, well, there's a gate there, so you can go that way, but we discussed it a little bit, and he pulls out the rule book, and I told him, I said, the way that I interpret the rules, and I think since I've done a little online talk, is that you can run over a wall on an assault, but other than that, you cannot run over obstacles. And he said, well, if you're up against it starting the turn, then you could be able to, and that's the way his club plays it, and that's fine, that's the way his club plays it. But according to the bolt action rule book, that's not exactly correct. It's just on assaults, and I totally agree with Riley's interpretation in playability, and it really wasn't a non-issue. I mean, he went to where he wanted to go, basically, and either way, I ran with my armor car here, so no shot. And his girlfriend, Maggie, I'm sorry if I didn't say her name, Maggie was Rosie the Riveter. So she's drawing dice. She's helping me out by drawing some for me. And so I bring my armor car around. I'm going to hit that mortar, I believe, because it's just too easy of a target. And I get a hit, but I don't kill. Look at all these Americans crammed into this courtyard. Boy, that's where you wish you had airstrike or an artillery barrage. But so he's got this nice church and fence compound to use, and so I'm thinking, well, I've got a lot of stuff. There's no outflank allowed in this scenario, and I've got a lot of stuff from reserve, so it's like, what am I gonna do? So right now I'm just kind of moving. I actually think he's gonna bring some paratroopers maybe on a run order or something on his reserve check, and come down the left side of this, or my right side of that hill over there, and I think he's just gonna race down. But so he's got his like sniper and stuff up there to shoot with. But here comes my Lorraine carrier carrying 2 Singhalese squads, and just move. It looks like most of the action is going to be on this left-hand side. So this squad, he says that they run into the house. They're in the part where the roof is now off. We didn't bother placing them all, but he ends up moving them in or around there just because it gets a little bit congested with all those Americans trying to differentiate. I'm feeling like a bunch of inexperienced units to come on the board checks or something. I'm not sure what I was rolling. This squad runs up there to that house. Just an inexperienced squad. Well, bad thing about me moving that camera back just a little bit, it's slightly catching the edge of my display board, and I think it keeps changing the I think the camera keeps trying to focus on my display board since it's closest. So here comes the cavalry, 18-inch run order, right alongside the Lorraine carrier. Oh, these guys do go in there now. Or they were in there, he just moved them out of the way so it wouldn't confuse them. So he comes out with his lieutenant and fires at me. I go ahead and recce. Cavalry can recce basically anywhere they want to. So I recce behind the rocks to give myself some cover. So I give myself a little boost. And then he moves his squad down the edge of the wall there. And I think he ran order. I'm failing a bunch of checks. So another squad runs into the tournament organizer said this is a 3-part building. There's the tower section, there's the middle section, and there's the end piece. And so Riley's, that was fast. Basically I was showing the squads inside there. In fast mode, that was really, really fast. But so he brings his truck in, and it comes driving in the road. I got my far right howitzer in ambush. So he's driving down the road, and I trigger my ambush. I think I got long range, or just soft cover, hit the truck, and the paratroopers have to pop out. So they didn't get very far in their trucks, and I got a flaming Sherman there and a flaming truck. They pop out. They can pop out anywhere up to 6 inches. And Riley does a bit of debating, and he doesn't want to be in line of fire of those other 2 howitzers, which I don't blame him. So he's going to bring them out this way, and he can actually see because this little shed part doesn't go to the main house. So now he's got them set up really nice. He's got 2 out there, and the majority in hard cover, if for like a next turn, and he can see the back door because you got to be able to see a target to charge it. So he will be able to charge my inexperienced squad in the downstairs of that house. And here I'm just firing some shot. I got an inexperienced rifle squad that went up the top of that hill, firing at them. I think I score a hit. And I think I bring on another squad, my other cavalry squad. So kind of overdoing it on the left hand side. I don't know what he's got 3-4 squads counting the lieutenant around the church area. I've got 3 in my Lorraine carrier alone to get into his deployment zone. So probably overdoing the rush to his side, and then I kind of review the scenario packet and realize majors, I got to keep him out. He can't have a single one in my deployment zone to get a major. So pretty shortly I start re-diverting forces back to stopping him. So Riley gets a dice. He's pretty happy. He's going to test on his paratroopers, and he rolled a foobar. He would have easily, well, not easily because it would have been Simo, but yeah, that would have been slaughter of probably my inexperience, and then he would have been in a really nice spot to come out and threaten all my guns on his next move. So, but he rolled the foobar and they run away. So here I go ahead and charge a mortar unit with a cavalry, and I'm just going to overrun. I say overrun from Warhammer Fantasy. Consolidation would actually be more accurate. And I roll a hit with a howitzer right into the front end of that building and kill all but maybe 2 or 3 guys. And that one's a miss. But yeah, I mean, he's got to get into my deployment zone. I've got a wall of guns there. It's going to be a little tough. I'm sorry, I started bringing in some of these inexperienced that I failed to bring in before. Yeah, but where I give Riley credit, he's always calculating. Always thinks he's gonna be able to do something. Just a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and start just advancing things up on the right hand side since I know he doesn't have anything coming in. It's like a light mortar team and I think that inexperienced squad. Yeah, Riley just keeps on plugging away. He's still got a lot of squads in that building. I'm coming up. I'm spraying those guys with the armored car, some machine gun shots, and I don't want to charge him with my cavalry, and actually I can't charge him because he's not manning that wall, and I can't run over a wall. So I just move up to there and fire some cavalry carbine rifles into him, just trying to inflict a little bit of damage. So just trying to use them. At least I got some shots. Yeah, I just gotta move it along. I tried to speed the video up a little bit more to 8 times, but once I do that, the audio for some reason just starts to get choppy, even though I'm recording it over the top of it. I don't know, I'm not a master sound engineer by any means. So I was trying to speed it up a little bit more, but this is about as fast as. So he's got what's remainder of that squad passes order check with his lieutenant. His one lieutenant out there just fires a couple of shots at like a cavalry unit, and then he runs into the church, and then he motivates a couple of guys. I think he's gonna get a medal at the end of this one. He did as much as he could do, and then. He's got, I mean, that airborne squad getting that FUBAR kind of messed Riley up a bit, because he would have been able to neutralize that squad in that house and had a nice piece of cover, and he could have used it as a hinge point for working towards my deployment zone. But yeah, my lieutenant actually, I think, put a pin on a unit. And then I'm just advancing down the hill. Since those guys had FUBAR'd, just exposing themselves to basically walking through an open field, trying to put some more pins on his guys. He passes here and moves into the center part of the church with his. We still got 2 big squads there. A squad with like 3 guys left in it, and then his lieutenant following along. So bring in I think that's a light mortar there, and the other one's the anti-tank rifle. So I got that squad in that house. And then I've got another inexperienced squad or something. Oh, that's my other lieutenant. My +2 lieutenant inexperienced. He walks in behind this rock and shoots his pistol. Well, his buddy shoots a submachine gun at that 2-man squad. So I'm just going to cut it to a real-time video and let you listen along. It's going to be a little bit loud because of the background music, but the background noise. But you can go ahead and listen to us. You can hear Riley talking pretty clearly, pretty easily, and we'll go ahead. I think we're about turn 3 or 4.
There is more units in your enemy's deployment zone and none in your own?
None. I got way too much stuff going. Yeah, I only need 1 thing.
Potentially. Well, if I get 1 thing in, then you need 2.
Yeah,
I'm playing for none. If you couldn't tell, I'm playing for the minor loss, which is if you're playing for the minor loss, you know you play that.
What color are you?
That's two turns before you come on.
Yeah, but when you're whooping somebody and they have to run across the whole board, it's
Yeah, because you can't even come on.
So, across this squad right here. Pin reactionary fire, but it's right here, right now.
What do you want?
I'm going to choose like right now and
Yeah.
custom shoulder right now.
Okay. Well, you don't have to. Because if you do take the fire order, you're probably going to die.
If I don't, we're an assault.
You were a 10-man squad.
Alright, show me your order check real quick.
So, you got a bar.
Boss
You
man's
get rid
there,
of
so
the
now
guy I was playing against last game. He argued that you took the pins off right now, but then they get the stay on until you're time. So I thought, you have 4 pins. And like, well, I'm going to assault. He's like, okay, then you hit him. I'm not going to assault. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to argue, so I just
Looking for what, 7? With the hard cover and the 2 pins?
something like that. 2 pins are long range 2. It's a mess.
Potential.
Where do we go, Simon? No,
You're
because
not defending for long. I only got 9.
down 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw somebody with more dice than 9.
Oh, my Sendum is at 12. I got unsealed. It's like,
Yeah, no, this almost the same thing happened in the game. Like won, they almost won it.
7.
These guys killed a whole squad of general units.
These guys?
Well, maybe not this squad. Could have been the other squad. 8 regular squads.
Oh, I killed 4. How many you have?
That's enough.
Now consolidate.
I'll go you die in there.
8 inches.
So you're consolidating behind the wall.
What's that?
So you're going to consolidate
Behind the wall?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Do the same thing next to that guy. Maybe. Depends on how many turns we got.
Okay. Mixed dice. Take the order back up a little.
Holds it out when they fire.
Look out, go. Ambush.
Fire indirect.
No, not indirect.
Fire indirect. Parachuters are going to run. If I run over here, point blank, you're still getting hard cover, right?
Yeah, because I'm manning it. You can assault me. I can record it.
I got to
But that will bring me place to go.
probably shoot. You might be giving it hard cover.
Yeah, I would. You ran up to here, and then I ran away from it.
Hitting 8-9.
ATR?
Thanks for that. It's not done. It's paying off.
So they're going to fire at the cavalry. Nice.
I'll go trick ambush since I'm moving. Then it comes this way, so you have 5. Fire direct.
Cover not in long range.
What did they could pass it?
Looking for a 5. I can help out my guys.
What you got left?
Wrecking my cavalry.
I'm gonna try to bring it up. I'm not a veteran. 2 down.
I guess that'd be hard cover from the rock.
A half point lane. So 3-5. Not a small team.
Minus
So.
It's the first time I've really rolled any.
Look at that. Wahooligans.
Bush wasn't there.
Oh, almost had it. So just one? Not enough for two. I am a small team. You have I'll put this one on. Test my off-board mod that I failed to come in. So advance.
So, can I get one of those dice stuff out? I'm just going to leave them in ambush.
I left these guys down.
Alright, turn 4.
Front row's point blank.
A lot of down there.
Back row's not. The back row's only at 3, base space 4, move 5, front cover 7. So 2 shots at 7. I still gotta get 2.
It's a good start.
I still gotta get 2. I got 1. Got 1 hit. Should get the front row 4. So 5 needed 6 inside this time.
Paratroopers running. 7. Soft cover, that's it.
It's not a 6, I can't do it.
Nice one, your spot above guys.
Blind. Well, you're more blind than I am.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not. Couple of them were, let's make 3 of them.
All right.
3 of them 5. There's 3 of them black.
The black one will be 5.
Yeah, I'm like, stay there.
pins on them, they might not be moving the rest of the game. Me, my first game, more than 12 inches, just peppering some guys in the building. Charged out, charged out on him, passing him around, took out 3, they had 6 pins. Proceeded to get salt and I guess you move so force.
He doesn't take a move.
He's got like a disassembled cancer fast.
All your spots had a
No, I was the same. I was just one of the guys. If you're going to confuse, I'm like, no.
it's a block because
You need to be alive.
synthetic moving.
It was regular from the end. But it was whenever you want it. Oh yeah, the pistol is well, I guess we know what that's going to be like.
I can keep you going out for another 2 turns.
And I shot this guy's one like 100. Halfway. Halfway.
Run like whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah, the game might potentially end next turn.
I ran out. Thanks, man.
Both like move X.
Four's all over. Dice is kind of going against me now, though.
This guy's just
Yeah, one coming for it. I think, right?
yeah. They didn't have any pins when they first moved. It was like halfway between the 1 and 2.
Normally 30, H-Big 4, point blank 3, mark cover 5. Shot. One hit.
Tree in the church. Advance myself. Firing his rifle, I'm losing the.
You don't have to worry, you're just shooting.
I'm advancing.
You're staying up there. You can fire out.
I wanted to test something right now, so I didn't stay locked down.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, you're still shooting the top of the tower. It's
Yeah.
strange, but he moved, so.
Gotcha.
Shooting a horseman, I guess.
You're going to take the penalty to break the law.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So just shooting on I don't get my sniper rule anymore, so it's just half range.
What are you shooting at?
Of course he's there. I think a 4, long range.
Well, no, I'm going to move it back a little bit. So I'm going to move it back to 24. I'm not with it, don't worry. I'll move it back one side. Oh, yeah, no, it's actually only. Yes.
Well, I'll shoot better.
Perfect.
You only get the possible from the sniper when you're using the sniper. Alright, I'll check to see if my arm gets my sniper gets amazing. still also only exceed my capacity. The only way I can
roll a blob. I'll roll back.
I mean, even if you only kill 2 guys and I kill the squad,
That's what I'm going to try.
you'd have to really with.
Alright. Well,
4 on the first half.
I got it here.
5, 6. Barely. 7.
All we really have to do is get it weak enough so the Idix guys can just throw themselves at it too. All you gotta do is stop me from getting consolidation.
not well enough.
Your sniper actually helped me out there. A little bit.
Yeah, I honestly just forgot you just recce towards my other squad.
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and speed this back up again. Really just kind of finishing into these turns here. Riley is still battling to the very end. The camera angle is not very good. He's got remnants of squads coming out, and he's getting some shots on me. His poor airborne, you know, they're kind of got a lot of pins on them. Here he's coming out with his regular squads to try to put some fire down, help those guys. And he picks off a couple cavalry models right there. And then the Lorraine carrier decides that it's been just driving around towards the deployment zone. It's safe there, so I can at least get some guys out of it and stay in the deployment zone. Cavalry comes down. They don't have much to do over there. They're just prepping for getting into some next turn or something. We'll go ahead and bring the singlies out here. They run into I have them run into the bottom floor of that tower where that sniper is. Here's the remainder of the other squad. They come out of there. I have to say, you know, even though Riley took a lot of damage and stuff, and his troops just kept on plugging away, passing order checks, other than his elite veterans. Well, they passed. They had that one foobar, and then they came back and tried to get back into battling. Armor car doesn't know what it's doing, so it just decides to just zoom down this way. And then he's going to start here, I think maybe the final turn. We're looking at the thing. He's got to get something in my deployment zone, and it's not looking too good. I asked Riley. I said, you know, Riley, I said, we can. Oh yeah, look at me. I did bring the camera over here. Yay, Sean. I do say here. So here's what we got going on. I come in with my cavalry and I assault that squad that is in the courtyard there, or maybe his lieutenant. He does do reactionary fire, picks off a couple guys, and I come in and I hit the squad, and I kill a few, and he kills, but I win the combat. So, boy, he did all right though. He almost saved himself. And I can consolidate up 7-inch, so I consolidate right there. Boy, this is a nice view right here, huh? Should probably try to record these games like this more often. Just move it around. That's a good idea. You can really get a lot more action this way, as opposed to seeing the whole table. Who cares about the whole table, right? I should just record the videos like this. You can see a lot more. So his airborne squad is really pinned down. He's got like 4 or 5 pins on them. He's in a good spot in that I can't see him with any howitzers, but near my other cavalry unit cleans up his lieutenant, and I say, you know, I don't think there's any way you can get into my deployment zone. Would you like to, you know, just call it? And he defiantly replies nuts to me, that he doesn't surrender. He finishes the game to the end, and I said, that is awesome. That's fine by me. We'll just go ahead and keep playing it out, because he's like, if he passed a check and assault me and overrun, and then he still had another turn after that, and I'm like, you got it, man, let's play it. He's got a sniper up there in the top of that bell tower, which Riley does. I think he assaults my Senghalese to get out of there. He does, and he comes in screaming, and he kills a Senghalese, kills one, and then they stab him to death for his troubles. But that was very, very valiant. But so now I just got my lieutenant and my armor car. So I do need to make sure I don't move everything out of the deployment zone. So I've got the Lorraine carrier retreats back into the deployment zone with a Senghalese unit in it. And I still have this one in the bottom of this church that will be able to move in. And yeah, that would be a kicker. That's something that I would do. Trap my cavalry here. They can't. Well, I guess you can advance. So here we go, a little better. It's all coming down to the airborne, and I've got about 14 order dice to his 1. I just advance over that hedge and take some shots at him. That way, if he does assault me, then we'll go Simo. Picking away at them with my inexperienced infantry. Looks like a very, very sad war movie for the American army. But yeah, he gets his order dice, and he rolled an 11 for his activation. So now it's just going to be cavalry charge. That way at least they can die with rolling some dice as opposed to just being pinned out. They deserve that much, so you'd have a chance, and they go down with a battery of 5s and 6s that I roll, and that's gonna be the game. Yeah, Riley was a super opponent. If you saw my Bugeater overview video, you'll see that he's a very charismatic guy. I am looking forward to playing him again. I do go through Iowa quite a bit, and if I do, I'm gonna have to see if I can get a hold of him and meet him for a game. I also know that there's Smitty M14 here, and Dan. Both you guys are in the central western Iowa, and you should maybe hit Riley up and see if you guys can meet up for a game sometime. Alright, well, thanks for watching. So this is going to be another major victory for the French. I don't think I did anything other than just roll a few howitzer shots and run my cavalry. The power of cavalry really showed up here with some of these charges and the recce and the movement. I did make one error in my recce. I don't think it would have mattered all that much because I had like 14 order dice to his 4, and we had another turn left after this one to. There we go. I'm just explaining the theme of my army. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll probably get the next battle report up tomorrow. Thanks.